Imagine a city where canals take the place of roads and boats replace cars, where gondolas glide gently through the water, ancient buildings seem to rise straight from the sea. Every corner looks like a painting, with arched bridges, narrow alleyways, and elegant facades adorned with Gothic windows and intricate stonework. It's a city where the streets flow, and every turn holds a piece of history. Yes, it is the enchanting floating city of Italy, one of the most captivating destinations in the world, Venice. Hey vacation lovers, benvenuti, welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, I'm so happy to have you with us. We've been to Venice a few times before, but it's one of those places we love coming back to. So, with a free weekend, we decided to take another road trip and enjoy this beautiful city once again. And honestly, I think 2 days are just right to explore this unique city. It gives you enough time to see the main sights, soak in the atmosphere, and even enjoy a few hidden corners without feeling rushed. On day 1, we explored the heart of Venice, from the stunning St. Mark's Square to the famous Rialto Bridge, wandered through charming alleys, and ended the day with a magical boat ride along the Grand Canal, enjoying the night view of the city from a completely different perspective. On day 2, we headed to the beautiful Murano Island, famous for its world-renowned glassmaking. We watched skilled artisans craft delicate Murano glass and explored this colorful little island full of charm and creativity. And of course, on both days, we treated ourselves to some delicious local food and special drinks, because no trip is complete without that. So stick around. You're about to see the magic of Venice unfold. Venice is a stunning city built on over 100 islands in a lagoon on Italy's northeast coast. It's connected by more than 400 charming bridges that link its narrow streets and canals. With no cars and winding pathways, it's perfect for walking and exploring its rich history, art, and romantic atmosphere. Now here's a great tip. Instead of staying on the expensive and crowded main island, you can stay in Mira, a charming town on the mainland. It's more affordable and still very well connected to Venice. Frequent buses run between Mira and Piazzale Roma, Venice's main transport hub, so you can reach the city in just 30 to 40 minutes. Whenever we visit Venice, we always choose to stay in Mira. Then we either drive or take the bus. If you're coming by car, just remember that you'll need to leave it at Piazzale Roma, the last point accessible by road. Once in Venice, the only way to explore is by walking or using the various forms of water transport. As I mentioned at the beginning, Venice is an island, so to enter the main part of the city, we need to cross a bridge. One of the most iconic ones is the Constitution Bridge, a modern glass and steel structure. Designed by Santiago Calatrava, it connects Piazzale Roma to the historic center, a perfect blend of modern design in this timeless city. We're now crossing the Constitution Bridge and officially entering the main island of Venice. It's a beautiful way to begin our journey and experience the unique charm of this floating city. The Grand Canal stretches out like a watery boulevard, lined with centuries-old palazzi, their faded facades speaking of stories and splendor from another era. Venice is famous for its iconic gondola rides, and of course, we have plans to experience that. But first, after arriving here, we grabbed day tickets for Vaporetto, Venice's water bus. It's the most convenient and relaxing way to explore this floating city without having to walk too much. Plus, it saves time and lets us soak in the beautiful canal views while traveling comfortably. This pass lets you hop on and off as many times as you like, whether you're heading to famous sites like St. Mark's Square, exploring nearby islands like Murano or Burano, or just enjoying a scenic ride along the Grand Canal. You can choose between single ride tickets or day passes for unlimited travel. Day passes are perfect if you're exploring multiple spots. Tickets are available at ACTV offices, machines, tobacco shops, online via the AVM Venezia app, or on board. But don't forget to validate your ticket before boarding. So after reaching Venice, we didn't waste any time. We hopped on a Vaporetto and headed straight towards the heart of the city, the iconic St. Mark's Square. Now, as we cruise through the Grand Canal, the views are just amazing. It honestly feels so special to see the city this way. And here's the best part, even if you don't feel like hopping off, you can just stay on the Vaporetto and enjoy the ride. You could spend hours on this water bus, just watching Venice unfold around you. The beautiful buildings, the little bridges, the gondolas passing by. It's such a fun and relaxing way to soak in the magic of this floating city. Along the canals, you'll spot the Vaporetto stops, white, steel cabins with a yellow banner showing the stop's name in bold black letters. Each stop can have multiple piers for different Vaporetto lines, so make sure to check the signs to catch the right one. With a day pass, you can hop on or off at any of these stops, perfect if you want to explore a specific area, visit a landmark, or just stroll around a new part of the city. As we continued our ride, we passed under one of Venice's most iconic landmarks, the Rialto Bridge. It's one of the oldest and most historic bridges in the city, and it's been a lively meeting point for centuries. But don't worry, we'll be coming back here later on foot from St. Mark's Square to enjoy the view from the top of the bridge and take in the stunning sights of the Grand Canal from above. As we glide along the Grand Canal, we're now passing right under the Ponte dell'Accademia, one of only 4 bridges that cross this iconic waterway in Venice. What's really special about this bridge is its unique wooden structure, which gives it such a warm, classic feel, quite different from the others in the city. It connects the San Marco and Dorsoduro districts and is a popular spot for taking in some of the best panoramic views in Venice. From up there, you can see the majestic domes of Santa Maria della Salute, colorful historic buildings lining the water, and boats of every kind cruising by. We're getting really close to St. Mark's Square now, and the excitement is definitely building. Venice just keeps getting better with every turn. And now, we've arrived at San Marco Boat Station. Time to hop off the Vaporetto and explore the heart of Venice. The moment you step out, the atmosphere completely transforms. It feels grand, historic, and alive with energy. Just a short walk from the dock brings you into St. Mark's Square, Piazza San Marco, and the view is truly stunning. The square is buzzing, and visitors from around the world soaking it all in. The light from the lagoon reflects beautifully on the buildings, making everything look like a living painting. You're surrounded by some of Venice's most iconic architecture. To your right is the elegant Doge's Palace, with its striking Gothic arches and rich history as the former home of Venetian rulers. Right next to it stands the magnificent St. Mark's Basilica, a masterpiece of Byzantine and Venetian design. Its golden mosaics shimmer in the sunlight, while its 5 majestic domes give it a truly unique silhouette. The facade of the basilica is adorned with stunning mosaics that beautifully illustrate scenes from the life of Christ and the story of St. Mark. On the opposite side, the Campanile rises proudly above the square, offering stunning panoramic views of the city from the top. Just a heads up, if you plan to go inside any of these famous landmarks, be prepared for long queues, especially during peak season. If you don't mind waiting, it's definitely worth it. The views and interiors are absolutely amazing. But it's a good idea to set aside some extra time or book tickets online in advance if you want to make the most of your visit. As we continued our stroll through St. Mark's Square, we made our way toward the famous clock tower, or the Torre dell'Orologio. This early Renaissance beauty stands proudly on the north side of the square, right at the entrance to the Merceria, the main shopping street that connects St. Mark's Square to the Rialto area. You really can't miss it. With its deep blue and gold clock face showing the time, phases of the moon, and zodiac signs, it's one of the most fascinating landmarks in the square. At the very top, you'll spot two bronze figures known as the Moors who strike the bell every hour. It's such a unique piece of Venice's history and adds even more charm to this already magical place. All right, let's keep going. More treasures ahead as we continue exploring this incredible city. But then we realized it was already lunchtime. So we popped into a nearby restaurant to enjoy some delicious Italian dishes along with a refreshing Aperol Spritz. After lunch, we're back on our feet and ready to keep exploring. Now we'll continue our stroll through Venice's raw beauty, wandering along its narrow, hidden lanes that feel like stepping back in time. Look at this view from the small bridge, absolutely charming. In the canal below, gondolas are gliding slowly through the water, adding to the dreamy atmosphere. And these old buildings with their weathered walls, I don't even know how many hundreds of years they've been standing here, but each one feels like a piece of living history. These narrow alleys and picturesque canals are what make Venice so magical. All right, we're back at St. Mark's Square, and now it's time to hop back on the Vaporetto and head toward the iconic Rialto Bridge. From there, we've got something special planned. A classic gondola ride to catch the sunset over the Grand Canal. Just take a moment to look at this view from the water bus stop. The sea stretches out beautifully, and in the distance, you can spot the islands with their stunning landmarks on the horizon. And now, as the day moves on, the sun isn't as strong as it was this morning, which actually makes the view even better. The stunning landmarks across the water stand out more clearly now, glowing softly in this beautiful afternoon light. It's just amazing how Venice is built entirely on water. Instead of cars parked outside, you'll see boats or gondolas right in front of the houses, like their driveways open straight into the canal. Now we're getting close to the iconic Rialto Bridge. Look over there, you can already spot it. It's shining beautifully under the afternoon sun, just glowing above the Grand Canal. And here we are. We've arrived at the Rialto boat stop. Let's hop off and get a closer look at this beautiful bridge. Now we've made it to the iconic Rialto Bridge, one of the most famous and historic landmarks in Venice. This area is always buzzing with people, and it's easy to see why. The bridge itself is stunning, with its graceful stone arch and rows of little shops lining the way. It's one of the oldest bridges across the Grand Canal and was once the center of trade in Venice. Yes, it's crowded, especially during peak season, but the view from the top is totally worth it. From here, you can look down the Grand Canal and see boats, gondolas, and vaporettos moving beneath you, colorful old buildings on either side, and the whole scene just feels like a painting in motion. So, we originally planned to take a classic gondola ride from the stop near Rialto Bridge to enjoy the sunset on the Grand Canal, but the queue was super long, and gondolas were arriving only every 30 minutes, so we had to skip it and decided to explore more of the city on foot instead, including some of those charming little shopping streets you can only reach by walking. As you stroll through the streets, you'll come across tons of souvenir shops. And yes, the famous Venetian masks are everywhere. But just a heads up, not all of them are actually made in Venice or even in Italy. So if you're planning to buy one, check if it's an authentic Venetian mask. And good news, in most of these shops, you can definitely try your luck at bargaining. As we wandered through the charming shopping streets and narrow lanes, we stumbled upon lively little squares where people were singing, laughing, and soaking in the atmosphere. If you choose to walk, you'll discover many of these small but vibrant corners of the city, each with its own unique charm. After spending some time exploring the streets inside the city, we wanted to embrace the night view of Venice from the Grand Canal. So we took a Vaporetto from the nearest boat stop. And just look at this. The lights shimmering on the water, the historic buildings glowing softly, and the streets and restaurants along the canal buzzing with life. As you can see, there are so many beautiful restaurants lining the canal. And if you'd like to stop for dinner at any of them, you can simply get off at the nearest Vaporetto stop. That's one of the great things about the water bus. It's super convenient. With a gondola, that's not really possible since you can only get on or off at specific locations. Now, since we've been to Venice a few times, I can say, even though we missed the gondola ride this time, the views from the Vaporetto are just as special. But if it's your first visit and you want that classic romantic experience, a gondola ride is definitely worth trying. Just remember, you might have to bargain a bit. Venice really transforms after dark. The historic palazzos and bridges are beautifully lit, their reflections dancing on the water. It's elegant, serene, and full of timeless charm. Everything feels so cinematic. You can even see the night view of St. Mark's Square from here. Honestly, seeing this floating city from the canals at night has such a unique vibe. But since this video is getting a bit long, and I still want to take you to the beautiful Murano Island tomorrow, I can't show you the entire boat ride in this one. I was actually thinking maybe I should make a separate video just dedicated to this Vaporetto journey through the canals. That way I can give you, my travel-loving friends who enjoy these little adventures just like we do, a complete picture of what it's like to explore Venice from the water. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'd love to see. But for now, we ended our first day in Venice with a lovely dinner at an authentic Venetian restaurant, the perfect way to wrap up a magical day in this unforgettable city. So it's the next day, and as I mentioned earlier, we're off to explore Murano Island. It was a cloudy and windy day, and everything looked gray. We hopped back on the Vaporetto, and yes, this ride is also included in our 48-hour pass, which has honestly been super convenient for getting around. Since it was quite windy and overcast, filming on the boat was a bit tricky. We spent most of the ride seated inside. But as we slowly approached Murano, the wind settled a bit, and we started to get a better view of this charming little island. It's colorful, creative, and you can already feel the island's artistic soul as you arrive. And just like Venice, Murano is stitched together by a series of little bridges crossing over narrow canals. It has the same peaceful, timeless vibe, but with its own distinct character. Murano holds a special place on the map for one big reason: its world-famous Murano glass. As you cruise in along the canal, you'll notice houses on both sides, and almost every one of them is a glass shop or workshop. It took us around 30 minutes to reach Murano from Piazzale Roma, but just keep in mind, the timing can vary a bit depending on which Vaporetto line you take. As we started strolling through Murano, the vibe was instantly different: calm, creative, and full of color. The streets are lined with beautiful shops, each displaying stunning Murano glass creations. From delicate jewelry to intricate vases and colorful figurines, the craftsmanship is truly impressive. We couldn't help but stop every few steps just to admire the work. And yes, we ended up picking up a few lovely pieces to take home. Along the way, we came across a few small squares, quiet little pockets where locals and visitors alike were enjoying the laid-back charm of the island. For lunch, we found a cozy traditional restaurant, and it felt like the perfect break. We even got to sip on a refreshing Aperol Spritz served in actual Murano glass that just made the experience feel extra special. After lunch, we visited one of the glass workshops at a nearby factory. Watching the artisans' work was truly fascinating. With so much skill and precision, they turned small, colorful pieces of glass into beautiful works of art right in front of us. It's amazing how this centuries-old tradition of Murano glassmaking is still alive, turning fire and sand into delicate works of art right before our eyes. Now watch this part. The glass is so hot that when he brings a piece of paper close to it, it actually catches fire. So impressive, don't you think? There are actually a few more factories around Murano that offer live glassmaking demonstrations in front of visitors. Once we finished at the workshop, we spent some more time wandering through Murano's charming netted streets, soaking in every corner of this artistic little island. As we wandered through the island, we stumbled upon the charming Church of St. Peter Martyr, a peaceful spot that dates back to the 14th century. It's simple from the outside, but inside it holds beautiful artworks and a calm, timeless atmosphere that perfectly matches the character of Murano. Look at that! Even the balcony is decorated with glass flowers instead of real ones. It's such a charming little detail that shows just how deeply glass artistry is woven into everyday life here. The weather cleared up just enough for us to keep exploring this peaceful little island. Far from the noise of modern life, Murano feels like a timeless place, where tradition still lives in every corner. What makes it truly special is how the people here continue their craft with such pride and care, holding on to their heritage while living a simple, laid-back island life, away from the fast pace of the so-called modern world. We continued exploring the island a little longer, and coming across a few more charming corners. Colorful houses, little bridges, and calm canals that make Murano feel like a storybook village. Now, it was time to head back to Venice. The weather kept changing, and when we reached the Vaporetto stop, just look at the crowd. We had to wait quite a while to finally hop on. We originally planned to visit Murano too, the colorful island known for its lacework, but with fewer boats running due to the weather, and since we've already been there before, we decided to skip it this time and return to Venice instead. And that's a wrap on our magical little getaway to Venice and Murano. Hope this video brought you along with us in spirit. Now, before I say goodbye, a little teaser for our next big adventure. In August, we're heading somewhere very different from Venice. Think glaciers, waterfalls, dramatic landscapes, and maybe even a volcano or two. Can you guess where we're going next? Drop your guesses in the comments, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. And as they say here in Italy, arrivederci amici, goodbye friends, ci vediamo presto, see you soon, and I really, really hope we do.